Today, I am excited to introduce Satish Panchapakesan, Senior Vice President and CIO at Arvind Fashions. Since its inception, Arvind Fashions is a lifestyle powerhouse that has redefined the retail and fashion industry in India. But before we begin with our cloud conversation, please could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Bikram. Thank you very much for having me on Cloudversation. Really excited to be out here. Ever since I started my career way back with Unilever, about 25 years back, and then, did a whole lot of global consulting with, retailers across, every continent. It's been a very exciting journey where I am today with all the things happening around, and what really beholds us in the future looks absolutely exciting and thrilling.
So let's start with Arvind Fashion's vision and what role technology plays in enabling it. We'd love to hear about that from you.
While we've significantly grown in our brand portfolio and brand franchise, we are at that stage where we really wanted to focus on a set of six high conviction brands, right? And these six high conviction brands are really going to power and steer our way into the future. And everything that we do in terms of technology is to really understand and deepen that customer connect, as far as these brands are concerned, and helping really grow that agenda further for the brands, both from a profitable revenue growth as well as a customer experience perspective.
We would love to understand how you decided on Google Cloud as your partner. What got you started with Google Cloud? Can you take us through the whole journey?
Sure. So, we started with Google Cloud, pretty much on the workspace area, right, where we kind of got our whole productivity tools, collaboration tools, emails, and so on and so forth on the Google Cloud, on the Google platform to start with. As such, the workspace was actually offering a significant amount of value, given that during the pandemic, these were really the lifelines and the kind of the highways of communication across the organization. I think we needed one overarching layer which kind of brings all this together, so that we really start unlocking and deriving the value out of these applications, not just from an information and an insight perspective, but also to to build more strong business workflows and more resilient systems. So moving from the workspace area all the way into data services and consumption.
One of the primary platforms or services that you use is Google BigQuery. I'm sure our audience would love to hear from you how you've leveraged BigQuery to basically bring about enterprise-wide retail insights to meet the needs of your customers.
Primarily, the big advantage of BigQuery is that it helps us really organize data from multiple systems within our enterprise, right? Be it SAP, be it our Oracle point of store, point of sale systems, be it some of our logistics management system, where the data gets generated pretty much at the moment of truth, right? But bringing all of them together and then converting them into decisive actions is something which had a significant amount of latency. And what we thought was we needed a tool which will kind of shrink wrap and kind of wrap itself around all these applications, reduce the latency, improve the fidelity of the information that we get from these sources, and start really deduplicating some of the data, be it masters, be it transaction system, be it the transaction data, and start getting more actionable data out to the business in as quick a time as possible, right? And a combination of BigQuery, the Google Cloud tools for bringing all the data together, as well as Data Studio and Looker, have really been the front and center of this whole architecture that we've drawn out.
As you look forward towards the future of Arvind Fashions, how do you see Google Cloud partnering with you in this journey? And more importantly, what are the cloud innovations from Google that you're most looking forward to?
As the technology evolves, right? I think one of the big possibilities that we have is in actually getting a lot more apps installed on edge devices, leveraging 5G, so on and so forth. But again, keeping those values intact, and of course, bringing the security aspects and the identity management aspects of Google Cloud bringing them together and making information pretty much seamless and accessible for decision making, uh, would actually be a significant step forward. Now, if I really take this to the next level, I think we can almost talk about predicting how the profile, or how a particular design, how a particular style code, for instance, down to that level, would actually go through a life cycle over a period of time based on some of these learnings and information that we already have in our historic, right? So I think these are some of the great possibility that we have in the enterprise space as far as Google Cloud is concerned.